I was able to work out hard. I was barely able to sit still. Focus was really something else, and productive kind of focus. Like, it wasn't okay. So we can all agree there's no shortage of concentrated pre-workouts. There's no need for complexes or any undisclosed ingredient formulas. We all know how much of each ingredient that we need. It's in science, it's in research. We've had the experiences. It's also back in the same style of those complex formulas where you don't know how much of each ingredient you're getting. But the point is, with this pre-workout, it's not made for those who want to maximize their performance. It's made for those who want a hardcore pre-workout experience without relying on, let's say, clinical doses of ingredients like citrulline and stuff. This is going to be one that you're going to use if you want high energy without worrying about exotic stimulants like DMHA or clinical doses of nitric oxide boosters or performance enhancing ingredients. Like, there's no need to keep creatine in a secret blend. We know how much creatine we need, between 3 grams and 5 grams. So Genetech, what you thinking, bro? So let's dive into the ingredients, and then of course my experience, because no BS, and I've tested this a bunch of times, almost finished it. I'm not gonna rush to review this. So after many workouts of testing this, I have come to a conclusion, which you'll see in the experience part of this video. So let's go into this pre-workout. The first one is a power endurance complex Power Endurance Complex, and it's with creatine and beta-alanine. So both of these ingredients help with performance. Creatine can increase ATP production, helping with energy and also muscle size. Beta-alanine, an ingredient that buffers lactic acid, allowing you to push more volume and more work into your workouts before feeling fatigued. Then we have an interesting complex that's called the transport complex. It's with Agmatine and NCG. So NCG, we may not know about, but Agmatine, it's a nitric oxide booster that's much better than arginine. It'll help increase nitric oxide production, meaning you're going to allow more blood, more nutrients to reach your muscles. You're going to be more pumped. It also has some nootropic effects, so it has some mood uplifting effects. That's very subtle, but it's there, and it's one of my favorite ingredients to take, especially with citrulline, but there isn't any citrulline in here. But Agmatine and citrulline, game changers for nitric oxide, by the way. That's the key right there. NCG, so this is another nitric oxide booster, but research shows that it's more of a ammonia cleaner kind of thing, kind of like beta-alanine. Beta-alanine, it buffers lactic acid, but NCG, it detoxifies the ammonia acid. So they both work in synergy, and it's interesting that it's in the transport complex, but again, research is limited, but it shows some promise. Then we have a energy focused matrix, DMHA, caffeine, and synephrine. DMHA, you may know about. If you don't know about it, you may want to do your research before using this, but basically DMHA is a milder form of DMAA, meaning that it'll have less of side effects when it comes to cardiovascular system. It won't affect your blood pressure, your heart rate as much as DMAA. But keep in mind, when it's combined with other stimulants, it can have that effect of increasing blood pressure, especially when it's like DMAA and DMHA, but it doesn't have all those stimulants. It's combined with caffeine and synephrine. So in combination, this will increase energy, reduce fatigue, improve mood, improve motivation, for a short period of time. Of course, it's not some kind of super potion or magical thing, but you know that if you're watching my videos, you already know that a pre-workout is temporary. It's not going to fix everything for you. It may do so for a couple of hours, but electrolytes, very important. Electrolytes are underrated, super useful, more useful than branch amino acids or amino acids, in my opinion, because electrolytes, we need them. When you sweat, when you work out hard, you lose a lot of electrolytes, and it comes in play when it comes to muscle contractions, relaxation, and all this. And it also reduces the side effect of cramps. If you're susceptible, if you're vulnerable to cramps, it'll help reduce those. But basically, this is looking like a concentrated pre-workout with 11 grams per serving, but you are going to probably use a scoop and a half. If you are tolerated and you're using 300 milligrams of caffeine or pre-workouts combined with maybe DMHA, you're going to be using 1.5 scoop. For me, I've used 500 milligram caffeine pre-workouts combined with other stimulants, and then I went to this. I was using 2 scoops. I was great. I also tried it with 1.5 scoops. It was great as well. 2 scoops was more intense. 1.5 scoops was way better than 1 scoop. So 1.5 scoops, way better than 1 scoop. And 2 scoops is like a not super intense. It's not as game changing as 1.5 scoops. So if you want to save money, 1.5 scoops. And you want to maximize your performance, 1.5 scoops. 2 scoops, not much of a difference, but you may want to try to experiment with this. But that's the formula. Let's dive into my experience. Okay, let me just start with, I just had a great workout on Hemo Rage. The focus was really something else, and the productive kind of focus. Like, it wasn't too overwhelming. You would expect this kind of thing from Hemo Rage, especially because the old formula I think had DMHA, but this one is a DMHA formula. It might even be better than the old formula because DMHA really has that effect on heart rate and blood pressure, while DMHA is more milder. You can see a comparison video if you do want to see more details about that, or the article on my website. But really, this was one of the most productive formulas I've had in a while. It wasn't like, you know how some pre-workouts, they give you so much energy and it can be overwhelming sometimes and it pushes your heart a little bit too far. It doesn't happen like this with Hemo Rage. I'm in the hottest weather that you can possibly work out in, and it's and I didn't like, my workout performance didn't suffer. I was able to work out hard. I was barely able to sit still. I can't stop moving. Like, in between exercises, I'm just going between and going through every exercise. Like, I'm supposed to do pull-ups after bench press. I'm doing it in between during my workouts, although towards the end, sure, it was a little bit hard, but that was like after 5 compound lifts. And at the end of the workout, that's typical for me to struggle a little bit with recovery. I'm pleasantly surprised by this pre-workout. I can't stop moving between sets, and I'm just going and going and going. But I was working out for an hour and a half, and the gym I'm going to currently doesn't have AC, so it's quite impressive if I do say so myself. And it was a really good workout. I wouldn't change anything. Like, even the pumps were good. I wouldn't say this is the perfect formula. It has perfect everything. There are some weaknesses, which I'll get to in a second. But for a high stim pre-workout and the price that it's at right now, it's quite fair for what it's at. And it's like a $40 deal right now. Although you do need double servings, 2 scoops instead of 1, because 2 scoops is where it's at. 1 scoop is okay, but 2 scoops is really good. But yeah, this is one of the strongest performances I've had in a while. And I'm just able to recover quickly between sets. My energy was up too, no problems. Really good. I really like this one. This one was something else, next level stuff.